it's getting messy. We've got this shooting yesterday in San Bernardino, California. 14 people dead. What is it, 17, 18, 19 now injured? It's up. Some of the injured may become dead. And 2 people, apparently a married couple with a 6-month-old child. And one of them worked at this place that got shot up. And this is just like raising all kinds of questions. And, to make matters worse, although they're both American-born, they are Muslim, and at least one of them has recently been to Saudi Arabia. So, Fox News, a Fox News host, not even a guest, but a host, was offering the opinion this morning. I've watched it myself, was offering the opinion this morning that, the president has been criticizing police departments for having military vehicles, but this sure looks like we need military vehicles on our streets. And, is this Muslim terrorism and all this kind of stuff? We have a serious gun problem in our country. We don't have much of a Muslim terrorism problem in our country. We've got a right-wing terrorism problem, but even that, compared with the terrorism inflicted on the United States by many of our corporations, tobacco, for example, kills almost 500,000 Americans every single year. And in fact, the firearms industry has used the strategies of the tobacco industry. Excuse me. They've learned from the mistakes of the tobacco industry how to make sure that it doesn't happen to them. There's a great piece over in the Center for American Progress's blog, Think Progress, about exactly how this works, written by Josh Israel. And, here's the kicker for it. He says, after seeing, years of class action lawsuits that forced the tobacco industry to change the way it's marketed its product, research by the Surgeon General and the U.S. government helping both discourage use and assist cessation, creation of smoke-free public places, increased taxes on tobacco deterring the use of tobacco, and many medical professionals helping their patients quit. So the gun lobby spent tens of millions to make sure that they avoided the same fate. That's by Josh Israel. And then he goes through these step by step, class action lawsuits. Okay, let's make it so that the gun industry is immune from prosecution. That one piece of legislation, by the way, is the one thing that Bernie Sanders voted for in his entire career that is arguably a questionable vote, and that Martin O'Malley and Hillary Clinton love to point to. But in any case, that it passed. George Bush signed it into law in 2005. Bernie wasn't a champion of it or anything like that, but it was just, this passed. So you can't do to the gun industry what we did to the tobacco industry. Then the research by the Surgeon General was what provided a lot of the steam. Keep in mind, in the 1990s, the tobacco industries were the most powerful industry in the country. And around that time, I had a statistic here. Around that time, here it is. The percentage, this is from the Centers for Disease Control, between 1965 and 2011, the number of Americans who smoke cigarettes dropped from 42% to 19%. And in 2009, Congress passed the first ever Tobacco Control Act with bipartisan support. Never would have happened even 15 years earlier. Republicans would not have voted to regulate tobacco. They would not have. Until it was it was revealed by the Surgeon General the impact that tobacco was having on America. It's the leading cause of death in this country, or one of the top 2 or 3, and all of the leading causes of death in this country, outside of accidents, all of the leading causes of this death are, for example, heart disease or diabetes or whatever, are exacerbated by tobacco. So they looked at, the gun industry looked at the tobacco industry, the 2 very deadly toxic industries, and said, okay, how do we avoid what happened to them? So the Surgeon General's research, that helped us, point out that the tobacco companies were killing us. So the gun industry paid off a bunch of largely Republicans, but there's some Democrats, there's certainly a number of Democrats in here, paid off a bunch of politicians to pass laws saying that it's illegal for the federal government to compile statistics on gun deaths. It's actually against the law. In a public health context. Tobacco saw tax increases to deter people from buying cigarettes. So the tobacco lobby has fought any attempts to tax the sale of guns or increase the tax of the sale of guns. Medical professionals were helping patients quit. So the tobacco industry, with help from ALEC and these other groups, they have passed laws in state after state making it illegal. Now, keep in mind, these are mostly Republicans voting for this who love to talk about, well, you don't want the government between you and your doctor, making it illegal for your doctor to discuss guns in your home with you. This is a conversation that every doctor in America should be well enough informed to have with every parent in America. But it's illegal. There's literally a Republican politician or cop standing between the doctor and the patient. Doctors can certainly talk to you about your tobacco use. They can't talk to you about guns in many states. So, tens of millions of dollars. And then on top of that, here's what we know. This is Vox this morning. Zach Beaucamp writing over at Vox. Roughly 33,000 Americans every year are killed with firearms. That is more than all the people killed in the United States between 2001 and 2013. Compare this to the number of firearm deaths. The number of firearm deaths during that period of time is a little short of 400,000, in the neighborhood of 400,000. The number of people who've died from AIDS from 2001 to 2013, a little over 160,000. The number of people who've died from illegal drug overdose deaths, around 100,000. And then U.S. military fatalities in Iraq and Afghanistan, U.S. citizens killed by terrorism, it's in the hundreds. When you look at firearm deaths, it's a larger number than AIDS, drug overdoses, military activity, and terrorism combined. I mean, it's roughly 1,000 times as many Americans killed by guns as by terrorism. 6,800 Americans died in Iraq and Afghanistan. 33,000 die every year just from guns in the United States. It's really, it's just car accidents. More people used to die from car accidents than from firearm deaths. It used to be around 44,000 died in car accidents, around 30,000 died from firearm deaths. Now it's over 33,000 who die from firearm deaths and around 32,000 who die from car accidents every year. And the car accidents probably includes things like, alcohol and whatnot. Meanwhile, follow the prayers of the guys who are paid off, right? Ron Johnson, the Republican senator from Wisconsin, got $1.3 million from so-called gun rights groups. So what does he tweet out? Yet another tragedy. My thoughts and prayers go to California. Right. Representative Jackie Walorski. This is from a piece by Kim Bellware over at the Huffington Post. Representative Jack Walorski, Republican from Indiana, A rating with the NRA. Here's what's amazing. Jackie Walorski tweeted out, sending my heartfelt thoughts and prayers to the people of San Bernardino. In exchange for Walorski's support, the NRA only paid $4,500. That's why, I keep having, like Uber drivers and cab drivers in this town say things to me like, wow, it's amazing how this town has been growing in the last 15 years. It's just incredible. So yeah, the Supreme Court legalized buying politicians, and politicians are damn cheap. This town is the best investment in the country. Mitch McConnell got $922,000 out of the NRA for his reelection campaign in 2014. Now, here's a guy. He sent out a thoughts and prayers tweet also. Here's a guy who actually knows how to extract some cash.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Jackie Walorski and some of the other Republicans who only got a couple $1,000 from the NRA and are tweeting out thoughts and prayers tweets. They should ask for more money. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.